Hello everyone, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. And today we are doing a review of leaks to Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 265. The chapter is called That Day, and it begins with Yuji and Sukuna going through what seems to be Yuji's hometown. King of Curses say, I've experienced this before, this rare phenomenon connecting with the sorcerer during the height of the battle. I thought is a side effect of some sort of curse energy from humans. Yet, this is different. Is this your domain? Enough chatter, says Yuji. I did it a little sporadically, so I'm not sure myself. I wanted a time to talk to you, so just indulge me for a second. After what, he points at the statue and says, Look, Devil Sword Dance. Sukuna says that he wouldn't know it, and Yuji says that it's not a big deal. Nobody, except for the locals, would know about it. From my Google research that I did, Devil Sword Dance statue they're talking about can be Onikenbai, a dance that was performed in northeastern Japan for 1,000 of years. It began as a way to comfort the ancestral spirits, but later it was performed by the soldiers who were either on their way to the battle or returning from it. It's said that the loud stomping of the dance wears off evil spirits. Yuji and Sukuna continue their date around the city while Yuji explains his backstory with the city. He says that he wasn't born here but moved here really early because of his grandfather's work and lived here until 6 or 7, which makes me think that Yuji's grandfather was a sorcerer after all. Yuji then says that the last time he visited the city was when he was around 10 for his grandpa's friend's funeral, and then he wonders if this friend would visit his grandpa's funeral if his grandpa would be the one to die first. Their date continues to the playground where they seem to find some type of flower. Yuji says that it's morning glory, but Sukuna cuts him off and says that it's hydrangea, excuse me for my pronunciation, and calls him a moron. The morning glory flower Yuji talks about symbolizes the beginning of a new day or hope or the beginning of a new era. While hydrangea that Sukuna talks about symbolizes an apology or begging for forgiveness, because one of the old Japanese legends says that Emperor of Japan gifted bunch of these flowers to the family of the woman that he neglected because of his work to show his appreciation and gratitude. Yuji notices that Sukuna has a lot of knowledge about flowers, and Sukuna parries it by saying that this is a knowledge from Megumi's memories. Then Yuji asks if everything that he explains to Sukuna, Sukuna already knows from the time that he was in his head, and Sukuna says that he did not waste his time on looking at the memories like these ones. Then they come around the little pond, and Yuji provokes Sukuna to catch crayfish by saying, Try it out, unless the strongest sorcerer cannot catch a crayfish. Then each of them pulls out a crayfish, and Sukuna humiliates Yuji by saying that the crayfish that Sukuna pulled out is bigger, but Yuji says that the one he got is the more rare one. Sukuna and Yuji have a little stare off while Sukuna says, What did you say? And Yuji says, You heard me. Yuji says that the city is natureless, but as soon as you come out of the city, you can see nothing but the green. Sukuna says, I'm not exactly holding my breath for anything here, while Yuji is showing him the rice fields outside of the city. Is it going anywhere? asks Sukuna. Then they go visit a farm to look at the horses, and Yuji mentions that horses' heads are always bigger than he imagines them to be. Then they go to shoot bow, and Yuji loses to Sukuna, to which Sukuna comments that it's obvious, and Yuji says, I guess you really did live in an era of archery. Then we get a pretty cute flashback with baby Yuji, who shoveled the snow and returned home to drink sweet milk tea, and his grandpa says that he's astounded how did he drink it, because it's something that makes your mouth all sticky while drinking the dark coffee. After that, we get another picture of Yuji with the head and a scarf, saying that every time that he heard the bells outside, it made him think that Santa really exists. But when he got older, he understood that the sound of the bell from the outside is just the chains on the wheels of the cars. Sukuna been fed up already and says, "Enough of this, what is your point?" Yuji then remembers everybody who died, including Nobura, which I guess confirms her death, and says, "Up until recently, I thought I should simply live to fulfill my role as I understood it. I thought if I died like that, I could at least consider it a proper death. But now, I feel like that's not entirely right. Walking the dog, raising the family, any sort of role like that is just fine. Even if you don't have anything like that, as long as you can eat, shit, and sleep, even if you're stuck in a bed sick, even if you spend your life with no connections and nothing remains of you, just the tiny fragments of memories that make up a person drifting elsewhere give value to human life. It has nothing to do with how someone dies. I couldn't ever forgive anyone who acted as if that value didn't exist. Sukuna, I loathe you. People aren't tools. We aren't born with any set role. I have no clue whether humans are fundamentally good or evil. Maybe I'm the one in the wrong. So I thought I should at least let you see the humanity of someone other than yourself, of someone you see no value in." And after this talk no jutsu from Yuji, Sukuna says, "I understand everything you say, but I don't feel a thing. Just as you expected that city to be empty when you returned, I expected all of this." Yuji says, "So there's no other chance I can change your mind, huh? I figured as much." And now it's Sukuna's time to monologue. He says that all of the hatred and all of the rage that Yuji feels towards Sukuna amounted only to this. He disappointed, he expected more. And then he gets angry and says, "Are you pitying me? Is this your way of showing compassion?" And Yuji, sitting on a stone looking cold AF, says, "Exactly right. I can kill you, Sukuna. Release Fushiguro and come live inside my body. That way I will spare your life." Which is like, why? Why would you even try to spare his life? And on the last page of the chapter, Sukuna says how wrong Yuji is, and that he will kill and slaughter everyone who Yuji values that much right in front of his eyes. So guys, what did you think of this chapter? Leave your comments below, and while you're out there, take care of yourself.